Good morning, people. Hope we're all having a fantastic weekend or weekday, whichever day you're watching this. It's Saturday, the 11th of April, which means we're now 6 days out from the wedding. Exciting times. We paid off all the vendors this week and handed over all like the different pieces of like decorations that we picked up ourselves, except for, of course, my party lights and everything, and the poster up here, but that's for day two, so the wedding organizer doesn't really have much to do with that. That's all of our responsibility. So we've handed everything over, decorations, money, and now it's just like roll on to next week. So we have friends arriving for Wednesday. Friends are actually arriving from Tuesday, but I'm finishing up work on Tuesday evening, and then it's pretty much just relaxation and party time from Wednesday. So we have a villa rented on the Wednesday. Our friends over, we're gonna have barbecue. Thursday, gonna go gym with some of the lads, and then I know, wild, gym in the morning with some of the lads, and then we're gonna play golf, and then we have a family dinner with the bridal party as well on Thursday evening, and then Friday is like the wedding day, and then Saturday is Shema Fest day 2, which I'm absolutely buzzing for. Today I made another purchase that I didn't need to make. I got a laser. So what I've been doing this week is I've been trying to figure out how I can control the lights with my decks, because my DJ decks, they actually have an inbuilt feature in them that have like DMX control. So I've just been trying to figure out how to get the software on my laptop to recognize the lights I have, and then my decks to recognize the lights, so I can control it from there. Because you can essentially program in like light shows. Now I don't have the technical experience to be able to do that, but there's like auto script functions. That's been interesting. It's nice having a hobby again that's not just like fitness. So, you know, if you're here for fitness, I'm going to talk more about fitness later on, but just indulge me if you are somewhat into music. And if you are somewhat into music and you're into lighting, and you have experience with DMX, and especially with Denon DJ, DJ software, please do give me some suggestions, because it will massively help. Because I'm kind of I've gotten a couple steps into the process, and now I don't know where to go, because I'm definitely not doing it correctly in regards to getting the lights to coordinate with the DJ decks. Anyway, so this morning we're getting our bloods done. So hydrating, well, caffeine. I hydrated first, had a litre of water, coffee, and now I'm having water with some electrolytes after. So again, I'm not like a mad electrolyte advocate. I just like having something tasty in the morning as well alongside my coffee, as opposed to just plain water, and just encourages me to drink a little bit more. You know, no real difference if you are just consuming a decent amount of like salt throughout the day, you know, fruits and vegetables. So, you know, if you're wondering if you should be getting electrolytes, the answer is probably no, for the majority of people, because yeah, I just get them because I've just a little bit more disposable income that I'm happy to spend on supplements. That's it. I got a new sign as well. So you see there, Story Strength neon sign, just adds a little bit more. It makes it more of an office, because I'm happy after rearranging this office that it just feels a lot more, yeah, I feel a lot more peace in it. It's less cluttered. It's a little bit more aesthetic. Good times. Anyway, I am going to finish my coffee. We have to leave to get our bloods done in the next 15 minutes. And then it's going to be rest day vlog today. So I'm going to go through full day of eating on a rest day, how I'm going about today in regards to setting myself up for the next week, getting content laid out, all that kind of crack. And yeah, some behind the scenes of what my life is like when I'm not in the gym. All right. We're doing a lot of things as a couple this morning, aren't we?
Yes.
Moisturising together, taking our progress pictures together. Now we're getting our bloods done together. This is my first time getting bloods done in a year and a half now. No real reason is prompting me to do it, to be honest, other than Emma's getting it done, and I want to see what's going on underneath the hood. I'm curious to see if they're better than last time. I think last time cholesterol and triglycerides were still in the normal range, but I think my LDL was just a touch high. I was eating a lot more saturated fat, as well as just being fatter in general. So we'll see how things are. I got a fake natty accusation as well this week, so it'll be interesting to see how much outside of the normal range my testosterone is, so I could you know, come out to all you guys and, you know, show myself as the fake natty I am.
Been taking fem test.
Yeah. I put up an April Fool's on my story with a vial of testosterone, which is her fem test. I just turned it over, so it just said testosterone and anthate. And some people were like, what? As if I don't talk about it enough, about being fucking natty. It's like the bodybuilder equivalent of vegans. You know somebody's vegan because they'll tell you about it.
I always say that.
Yeah, same with natural bodybuilders.
You know.
We have to let people know.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's like, almost, it's more like I have to let them know that I am this small because I'm natural. You know? At the same time, if Peter accused me of being a fake height, I'm probably somewhat decently in shape and probably muscular. But anyway, it's what goes on in my head when people talk to me about it. I'm like, yeah, I'd have to give them some reason. I'd be bigger if I was on gear. Don't worry. Okay, guys, so we have our bloods done. I am about to try my first ever flat white. I already had a large black coffee this morning, and usually I don't like to have anything to taint my coffee, but I'm open to new experiences today. Live taste test. Sweet. It's not bad. I think I still prefer black coffee though. I think the milk in it just, yeah, I don't know. It's alright. I don't really see the hype. Alright, here we have it. Meal number one. As always, it's pancakes. So oats, a little bit of flour. So I'm doing like 50 grams of oats, 50 grams of flour. There's some chia seeds in there, blueberries, banana, Greek yogurt, egg whites, bacon, powdered peanut butter, and then some honey. Even though it's a rest day, I pretty much just start the day with the exact same meal because consistency, routine, no decision making has to go into what am I going to eat this morning. Just keeping the exact same structure, and this makes my life very, very easy. And I'm going to have something flexible later on. So again, it just keeps on with the theme of keeping foods that digest well for me and that I really, really enjoy. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with having these every single day, can you? Okay, we are back in the office and we have a busy day from now. So I have to get into a new client setup. I have a YouTube video that I have planned that I want to record, an educational one in the Pragmatic Guide to Building Muscle series. And then I also have to clean the fridge, as well as practice my DJ set, as well as do cardio. So today we are going to be tight for time, but look, I'm going to have plenty of time to relax next week. So just as I get into my new client setup, I want to discuss a little bit about how I actually onboard new clients. So the first thing people will do is they'll fill out an application form, which you can find in the description of this video. And from there, I'll send them a WhatsApp and I'll send them my inquiry video, which just details how much I charge per month, what coaching with me looks like, and what I expect the clients and who exactly I work best with. And once they watch that video and they're all good with what the service entails, I'll send them over a questionnaire and we'll book a call. The call is usually to go through the questionnaire, go through their goals a bit more specifically, and try to create some type of plan together. And then once we have had the call, which is usually about 30 to 45 minutes, I will spend the next day or next 2 days making up their plan. Quite often making the plan is like the easy part, because the whole point of the call is to actually make a plan together. So all I have to do then is just formulate it onto my apps. So I use a coaching app called My Strength Book to coach all my training. And then I use just Google Sheets to help people stay in line with the likes of nutrition, formulate meal plans, and build out timelines so they know when, if certain phase is going to start, when it's going to end, how long they have left, what the expectations for rate of loss per week are, or rates of gain through their different phases, and just allows us to have a nice broad overview essentially of the entire year. That's what I'm about to do right now. It's that final part there, just the program, build, the app setup, and then after that, once I've all that completed, I'm going to send over this new client video, which just details everything to do with the plan. Again, what I expect of them specifically, what I want us to work on initially. And from there, the coaching does evolve week to week, right? Because when I write the initial plan, it's not as if like I can look into a crystal ball and say that this is 100% going to work. I can make a pretty educated guess as to what is going to work, but the process always evolves, especially as people have obstacles to present, they have struggles, things don't work out as we expect. Then that's when the check-ins week to week become quite valuable, because we make adjustments within them if they're needed. That's where the real value in coaching is, right? And it's the difference between you just reaching out to ChatGPT and reaching out to an actual person who's educated and experienced at doing this. It's that weekly accountability and having some type of buy-in to the plan and somebody hold you accountable to that. Because the human element is important. Like, you're never going to feel beholden to an AI bot, right? The same way you would if you're reaching out to somebody who you have followed for a while, you somewhat admire their process, their experience, and you almost want to make them validate you to a degree, right? That's like, even like for myself with my own coach, when I check in with him week to week, he's not necessarily telling me to improve a ton, but I'm getting his validation week to week, and that makes me feel better about my process. Whereas if I was checking in with AI, I wouldn't get that because it's an AI bot, so that's something to consider. If you're ever thinking about like going down the route of just using like an app that is using some type of large language model, probably not going to be as good as if you just worked with somebody like myself. Anyway, we're gonna get into this. Program done. Time for meal number 2. So what we got here is broccoli with some honey and almond butter, potatoes cooked in the microwave, then the air fryer, and then we have some chicken thighs here. So keep it a little bit lower carb. Usually I'd have 100 grams of rice on top of this, but I'm gonna have 200 grams later on in the biryani, so I'm just making that substitution so I have more room for later on. After this, I'm gonna do cardio, so I am quite hungry now, so I'm gonna get stuck into this and then trying to get cardio done out of the way and then come back and focus on the content side of today. Alright, that is cardio complete. I've been very good the last few weeks. I have only missed one cardio session since I finished the diet. Now, this is the first time I've ever done cardio like this consistently, especially while I'm not actively trying to lose body fat, because I used to always just see it as a tool to lose weight versus looking at it for the other benefits you get in regards to heart health and even just the feeling you get after, right? Like, it's so different to like lifting weights in the sense that, like, obviously when you do a set in the gym, right, it's uncomfortable for a minute or less. It's kind of uncomfortable for the entire 30 minutes that I'm doing it there, right? It's just continuous. And for the first 10 minutes, I am actively trying to convince myself to stay in the bike and not get off. Once you get through the 30 minutes, like, the feeling of satisfaction after for like sticking with it is incredible. Like, it feels fantastic once I get off the bike. I'm like, yes, I persevered through that. Like, the health benefits, of course, right, they're great, but I think that like mental win that I get after I complete is more worthwhile, in my opinion, for me anyway, and it's definitely something that's like helped me buy into doing it more. I think like the more often you put yourself in a position of doing things which are kind of uncomfortable and have you fighting that internal battle of will I continue or will I not, and then you overcome it, it just really kind of builds up self-efficacy and shows you what you can do when you put your mind to something. Now, I'm talking about sitting on a bike, but cycling a bike for 30 minutes, so it's not as if I'm climbing Mount Everest or anything like that, but you do a few hard things throughout the day, it makes other hard things feel a little bit easier, or you're again just able to rationalize to yourself that you're able to actually do them once you actually put your best foot forward. So that's definitely something I am enjoying about the cardio side of things. I'm definitely seeing as well my resting heart rate is like quite low, which is good. Like, it's 42 beats per minute or something like that, like 42 to 45 beats per minute, like day to day. And definitely do think it's massively helps with maintaining the body composition I'm at now, because I've been pretty much 89.2 to 89.4 on average across the entire month, and that's while still eating like 4,000 calories and being, probably 10% body fat. I'd say it myself. Alright, so it's 3 p.m. I'm gonna go home now. First thing I want to do when I get home is start recording that YouTube video. Similar to the cardio, there's always a little bit of resistance before I start recording, because I build it up in my head that it's going to be more difficult than not. Have this like mental chatter of like, what if nobody watches it? What if it's shit? This fear of failure, you could say. But once I get going, once I set the camera up, well then the camera's set up and may as well talk now. The exact same way I coax myself into staying on the bike. You're on it right now, you're pedaling, you're hardly gonna go off, are you? Like once you start pedaling the bike, once you start recording a video, you're not gonna just give up, are you? Because that is what a little bitch will do. You know, not somebody who actually wants to win. Let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Stop wasting time here chatting to a camera. Alright, it's 5:30 now. I just wrapped up 2 whiteboard videos, one on set structure, one on deloads, all about them for the Pragmatic Guide to Building Muscle series. I'm going to put a card up there. I think it's either here or there. I'll put it up anyway so that you can check them out or check out the other videos in the series, because there's plenty in there. And I'm getting into topics now which are definitely less essential and more like, I guess almost like more coaching experience related versus the not even hard science of like, you know, volume, intensity, frequency, exercise selection, all this kind of crack. It's more so stuff that I've picked up from, you know, experience of coaching myself, experience with coaching all my athletes across like many years, and having done plenty of education and understanding what the reasonings for doing all these things are. And this is one thing that I guess you only get from doing the thing for long enough, is you create your own models of why we apply certain training variables or certain training tools in different contexts. It's very easy when you're in your early years to be just like parroting other people and what they say. And I think this is definitely something that I fell prey to when I was in my early days, because I didn't understand a lot of reasonings. I didn't have too much context. I didn't have experience with myself as much. I didn't have experience with as many athletes. Whereas like now I've coached so many people and I've been doing the thing so long for myself that I'm able to, you know, parse out, okay, what does the research say? What does anecdotal evidence from other people say? What does my anecdotal evidence say as well? And then create a kind of good model for actually kind of disseminating this information. So that's the whole point of the series, is to try to show people my philosophy around training and why I make certain training decisions. And you know, they're things that have helped me, they're things that help my clients, and I think they're things that'll help you too. So if you haven't checked out the series, I highly recommend you do. I'm fucking starving now. Emma is making dinner and I'm so excited for this chicken biryani, because yeah, I am very hungry. I didn't eat after cardio just because, I mean, it was just cardio. Like it's like going for a walk. Do I need to eat after a walk? No. So I had my last meal at 2, which was the chicken, potatoes and broccoli. And now we're going to have this delicious chicken biryani, lots of rice, lots of chicken, not lots of veg, but some veg, and then have creamy and stuff later on. So yeah, I'm going to get my tank top off. Obviously, when you're recording a video for YouTube and education, when you have to put on something that's going to make you look slightly large, so you have a little bit more perceived authority, I guess. So yeah, look, I'm going to go downstairs, chat to Emma, and I'll show you the dinner once it's ready.
It's really hot.
No shit.
Sure.
You don't even know.
I mean, we won't know until we eat it.
Yeah, we won't know.
Right, well, put it in the middle of the table.
So what vegetables did you put in?
There's onions and tomato. And peas.
I feel like it's not unsalty.
No, there was salt in it. I think that's a good success.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a very fat old man.
Yeah, once you retire from bodybuilding, I'm gonna get my mom's baking book, and I'm gonna just bake you all your favorite things.
So Austrian coffee ghetto just on repeat. If you don't die from diabetes, that'll be happy. And here we have it, final meal of the day, Ninja Creamy Chocolate Explosion from Perform. We have some Easter egg in there, as well as some crunchy almonds. Yum. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the day. I'm going to put up all of the macros on screen for today, all the macros per meal throughout the video, and just show you how I manage my food on a rest day. What are you crying over? I was a little bit over in protein today, which I'm not really too worried about. my weight was in the 88 today, so I could probably afford a little bit more calories anyway. So I'm gonna get this in, I'm gonna relax, and that's Saturday done, rest day done, and then for tomorrow we're 5 days out from the big day. Alright, that's it. Catch you in the next one.